Okay, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Not the Sandwiches Are Epic. We're getting started in with a great licensed game based on the hit Netflix show One Piece. So yeah, hope everyone's getting excited. Before I jump over, just to say this is in support of Extra Life donating for the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. So yeah, any little bit you can throw aside would be awesome and greatly appreciated. So I'm going to jump straight over there and we'll get started.
Yeah, thank you. Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm LiamDunn23, and this is One Piece World Seeker. Beginner difficulty, any percent. So we're going to be playing as Luffy through the main story, and timer starts as soon as I hit go, and as you see, the timer starts on its own. And there is a load remover for this category, and you're going to see that a lot of our tutorial stuff, they kind of lock you out of a lot of the game's mechanics for like the first few chapters, so that's kind of frustrating. You're gonna see I can't even sprint yet. I can't even jump. I'm mashing A. It's not happening. Still mashing A, and now I can sprint. There we go. One step at a time, as it is in the prologue in these types of games. Always a fun time. Always good to see. So, here we go. Coming around the corner, and we're gonna see our first enemy. And it's gonna teach us how to throw a punch. You see, the X button is for punching. And it'll just do random attacks. So that's fun. Now it's going to teach us about picking up items and jumping. As you can see, now we can jump. Oh, I missed that up a little bit. Matched through some dialogue there, picked up an item using Y. And now, in order to move a little bit faster in this segment, you're going to see me doing little jump kicks. Just preserves our momentum a little bit more. Gives us a little more speed in this early section. Just taught us about takedowns there. Which we'll never be using in the run, by the way. It's just a little too slow. And here you go, still doing some jump kicks up the hill. It's going to teach me about grappling in a moment. I'm going to try not to get hit by these guards. And I'm successful. And then up here, we're going to grapple up here again. Going to be a little cutscene. Just smash through the dialogue there. We're going to fall down, do a little kick near the ground, grapple onto that tree for just a little time save, and we're going to start jump kicking here. And then it's going to teach us about locking onto enemies. If you just kind of hover over them, you'll lock onto them. Cool. So you got to do that, and then it lets you move. So now we're going to go over here. We're going to grapple up there. Just try to do a little quick movement here. Sprint over there. Going to grapple onto this tree up here. And very soon... Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna split now. These are going to be fake golds, but in the interest of just trying to keep things nice and smooth, I'm going to split early so I can just focus on mashing through dialogue and quick movement. I used to split right when I regained control, which I don't know why I was doing that. But until we have a load remover for the game, sorry, an auto splitter, I should say. We do have a load remover. Then I'm just gonna split randomly. So here we go. We're coming up here, and we're gonna get one of our first fights. Here we go in chapter 1. It's gonna mostly have us push B to skip through cutscenes right before a fight, and if we're lucky, we'll hit both of them at once with one of the 3 attacks there. Otherwise, we have to kind of do like a dodge evade. It takes just a little bit longer, but not a big deal there. We got lucky. Gonna move forward, grapple up here, grapple onto that point, and now it's gonna teach us about our observation hockey. In the bottom left corner, you kind of see that like where our health is sort of blue, and then you see that gauge is draining there. That little circle, that's our observation hockey gauge. And because the whole thing, the border is blue, that means we're in observation hockey mode. It means we're not really going to be doing that much damage, but it just taught us about how to aim and fire headshots. My controller is not responding. What a lovely moment. I don't know why this is happening. There we go. It regained. I don't know if it did a funny there, but you know, sometimes, as they say, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Murphy's Law. Do I get any scrap iron? We'll see after this cutscene. I got 1 scrap iron. That's going to be important later on for an attack ring that we have to craft in Chapter 13. So in the meantime, I'm going to split early. And even though I split early, you see I still lost a good chunk of time. Because my controller disconnected. Love to see it. So here we go. Oh yeah, the RTA? Yeah. Perfect, yeah. Yeah, I just still want to keep a track of, like, just rough idea of where I'm at and all that. So, here we go. We just have to talk to her. And we're still not allowed to rocket off of our grapple points, not until the end of Chapter 3. That's where a lot of the cool, fun movement tech is going to open up. But by the end of this chapter, we're going to still be doing jump kicks, but they're going to look a lot different, and they're going to be a little faster, because we're going to unlock Armament Hockey mode, as you'll see coming up soon. So, we're going to be doing more jump kicks, smashing through a bit of dialogue here. There's going to be a resource point, like a little blue, glowy thing. We're going to try to pick that up and hope that it's pure iron. It probably won't be, but let's see. Yeah, tiny wood. As always, the game likes to troll me. Try to mock me. It's funny. Alright, so here we go. And boop. Too many express shrimps. That's exactly what we wanted. We're going to talk to Chopper here, mash through some more dialogue. A lot of mashing through dialogue in this game. We're going to grapple on up over here. We're going to find some pirates inside this little harbor. And this is the way we're going to go. We're almost there. Just got to grapple onto 2 more points, and that's going to trigger another little cutscene that we mash through some dialogue. And now we're going to finally unlock Armament Hockey. We can do some damage. So we skip that, mash through some tutorial boxes, try to land headshots, be somewhat unsuccessful. Okay. And there you go. Alright, cool. So, that's solid enough. We're gonna just wait. Gotta wait. Gotta wait. There we go. Now we can mash through dialogue. Tutorial. Do a little thing. There we go. And now, as you can see, we are doing those jump kicks, but they're kind of, like, throwing us forward. So it gives us a lot more speed than normal sprinting. So we're gonna be doing that until we can unlock the funny little grapple mechanic, or the rocket launching mechanic we were talking about earlier. So, here we go. Mashing through the dialogue. And still mashing through because it's going to teach us about equipping items. There we go. Whoops. Well, I zoned out for a second there and lost a little bit of time, but it's not a big deal. We are still going pretty much the correct way. This is an improvement over the old route because you get the knuckle ring early, and it makes some fights faster. That's what we needed the too many express shrimp for, so we're going to equip that now. And this path is actually also more direct than the old path we would take. The only issue is that it loses out on a potential pure iron that you could get, and that's important for the attack ring that we're crafting in Chapter 12. So, not a big deal. Better that we have a little more reliant and really got a little more consistency in the fight, because I'm not very good at the fights in this game. I'm a little bit better at the routing and the actual movement stuff. Whereas the fight, it's a little tricky on controller because they don't allow you to set horizontal sensitivity, only vertical sensitivity. And unfortunately, I missed the landing, but I got 1 out of 2 small flower that I need as well for the attack ring. So that's good. Just gotta keep moving here. Grapple onto this tree up here. We're just making our way over to a flag that'll teach us about hiding in a barrel, which is something that we're never going to do in the run. And pretty soon we will unlock that funny rocket mechanic I was talking about earlier that lets you kind of fling yourself off of these grapple points. There we go. And boop. Uh-oh. There we go. There we go. There we go. Awesome. So, we're gonna come up to the first little boss fight of the run, aside from, like, the fight that we just had, which doesn't really count. Might as well grab these while I'm at it for some scrap iron. Alright. So, Smoker. This is gonna be the first boss fight. And it's a little like a dangerous fight. Yo, there he is. This is the main man, Nylan. I'll let you introduce yourself. It does. It's off. Yeah, it should be off of mine there. Oh boy. Oh boy, I'm getting owned. Hopefully this works. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, through OBS I can do that. I can do that right now. Discord. Okay, go ahead.
Let's look at active. Hello, hello.
Is that it?
Hello.
Do we have Nylan?
Do we have me on stream? Yes, okay. So, that was Smoker that went a little awry. He had to change the settings. He's gonna pick up, was that rocket?
Yes, you're now being picked up. There you go.
Yeah, picked up the rocket extension.
Yeah, so rocket extension lets you go a bit faster, actually, is how they coded it, rather than just purely further. So it's pretty huge. The Smoker fight went like a bit awry, but optimally you're gonna hit Smoker a couple times in the head and blow him up with a barrel right after his backdash. And then he just kind of gets ended there. Killing him any faster is possible, but it risks like wasting the explosive barrel to backdash invincibility.
Uh-oh. I'm doing a funny path here.
Funny path?
Yeah. I'm doing a funny path. Uh-oh.
It looks like
Uh-oh. No!
It's a decent recovery.
Okay, I laid it on the ground at some point, thank God. You want to explain that real quick?
Yeah, so when you hit water in this game, the game will use waypoint markers that it sets on the ground when you land. But if you never land for long periods of time, especially when you go between zones that are kind of these invisible geo blocks, the game will think that you've basically like fast traveled or warped and then fell out of bounds. So it will actually just literally void you out, and you'll respawn like a zone away from where you were, which is really bad. And it puts a load screen, which is kind of annoying. Little bonks, not a big deal.
A little rocky start, but that's okay.
Yeah, so occasionally touching the ground can be useful as a backup. It seems weird to say that, but yeah, it's useful if you think you're gonna hit water at any point.
Whole lot of dialogue to mash through here. You're chasing John around the slums, basically, and then you find Nami. Spoiler. Ah, thanks, Luffy. Oh, no, I got owned on that one. Sniper said no.
Curious, actually, like, I didn't think about this, but why do we not grab Radio Tower there?
We grab it later on, because it's good for the path. It's really easy for the path that we take.
Well, I agree, but, like, wouldn't it be possible to get to this cutscene from across the other side? You know, like jumping across the water? Or is that not possible?
Maybe. It's definitely worth looking into.
That's like what Zoro does because he can glide, but I've never thought about doing it with Luffy.
Wait, I'm going the wrong way. Oh man, I'm thinking way ahead. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
It's one of those, and I'm even forgetting about the upgrade too. That's crazy. The upgrade, this little mini side quest for free, 300 free points.
This is kind of a late addition as well. Grabbing the side quest gives a ton of EXP on this game.
So I'm grabbing boost because I'm bad at fighting, and I just want the fights to go well, because I know that's where I'm going to lose a lot of time.
Yeah, fights amount to a lot of time in this game. Movement is obviously the most time in this game. Fights are a close second.
Oh boy, Luffy! I just want to channel my inner 4-Kid Zoro, just Luffy!
Yeah. So you can get locked up a lot in this game because it feels good to buffer jumps in this game and just try to press jump into attack. But if you're in any sort of animation, Luffy will prioritize the attack. He'll overwrite the jump input. He doesn't perform them in sequence.
Yeah, at that point your best bet is just to hold B to guard cancel it, and then you can move again.
Yeah. So Anytime you see some weird things where like Liam's just punching the air, it's because he pressed jump and then attacked and gets locked up.
Yeah, if Luffy stumbles on the ground, like he lags for an extra few frames.
Yeah, about like 15-20 frames. Like, if you fall above a certain distance, you'll automatically get that stumble animation. There's like technically nothing fast we can do about it, because even though it looks like activating like Hawk Whip and all these abilities stops Luffy's descent, it doesn't actually reset his gravity, which is what triggers the little stumble. The only actions in the game that reset his gravity that he can actually use are Soru, which is in a mode we don't use, which is observation mode. We try to stay in armament mode the whole time. And stance switch, which you could do at any time, but stops Luffy's entire momentum immediately. Which just doesn't feel good for speed.
Interesting. I think it's one of the most interesting fights I've ever had there.
Yeah. You
I'm
got
splitting,
a good,
splitting super early still, by the way. That just should tell you how far behind I am. I'm like a minute behind, probably, or more.
Happens. That fight can go really awry, because that enemy type, the big chieftains with the double knives or whatever, can do an attack where he just, like, flexes and then dashes forward. And if he does that, he's just fully invincible. And it can waste a lot of punches.
It is possible to save a bit of time in the map screens by, like, using the mouse, because it's just a lot faster, but you still do have to be somewhat precise, so there are moments where I sacrifice going for the faster mouse movement just because I'm more consistent than hitting the actual target sometimes.
Yeah. So, mouse in this game gets to, like, kind of drag sweep. Like, you can click and swipe the mouse across the map to go a bit faster than you can move through it with the key controller. But the issue with that is, as you said, you can click on a node and the game won't select the node, and then when you click the button to, you know, confirm it, like left click or something, it'll just not go for the fast travel confirmation. So it's a bit tough when you're using hybrid inputs, even though hybrid is technically optimal in this game. I mean, truly optimal will be some super crazy like keyboard configuration. Ooh, tough. I mean, it's pretty decent recovery.
I've never had him be there in the cutscene though. That's funny.
Yeah.
Gotta aim at the
You
window.
see, we use a lot of guarding in the air and stuff as well. That cancels a couple of the game's restrictions. When you guard in this game, it doesn't like... It doesn't make you quiet, but it kinda does. Like, it just stops any sort of falling animation from triggering because you're in the guard animation instead, and the game doesn't want to cancel the guard animation. And it gives you way more air control. This is supposed to be a stealth section, but it's honestly massively easy as Luffy compared to Zoro. In regards to like how many guards there are. Also, there's a lot of vertical drop-off to guards noticing you. They're not good at detecting up and down. So that can cause some...
You know what? This will be fine. This will be fine. This will be fine. This will be fine. This won't be fine. He got too close. Normally they don't get that close. They do stuff like that. Oh, but he got me there. So this is yeah. And the slowdown, that's not good. But that's okay. We're only 20 seconds slow behind. You get to see a run in shambles, but it's fine. It's fine. This is the Murphy's Law run.
You can see why getting stealth there is huge, because you get to just hit this and it deloads everybody, and then once you walk into the bottom here, it triggers the mini boss. Alright, so we hit a button here, of course.
That was a little slow. Is it gonna work? It worked. It worked. Cool. Okay. Come on. Where are you going, Luffy?
Well, this is a benefit as well of the new equipment, right? Is like you could just body shot him. And a long time ago, we had to headshot him. And they have tiny heads, you know?
It's true. Gonna split here. I know it's super early, but copium.
Copium.
We like the copium in this household.
Yeah, big gunshot block.
Oh, interesting. I wasn't expecting. Hold on. Hold on.
So the majority of what he's been doing so far is doing various quests for each of the Straw Hats, and it'll keep being that way for about
Yo, powering plus?
like 40% of the game is just helping all the Straw Hats and freeing them from prison. For anybody who hasn't played World Seeker but likes One Piece, this is a really cool, almost like filler arc. There isn't very much One Piece arcs that are like it, which also helps it to be like kind of cool in a way. Because some games kind of feel like other One Piece arcs just repackaged, but this one's about like a sky prison and stuff. Like there isn't really any One Piece arcs where all of the Straw Hats are like imprisoned in different places or anything, so they did a pretty good job.
Okay, time for spiky carrot RNG. And I got
Spiky carrot RNG is
easy. Yeah, it's pretty tough. It's so easy.
It is fixable as well. One, it's pretty much guaranteed you will get spiky carrots here. The difference is if they're in great spots. And if the worst thing on the planet were to ever happen, you could save quit and respawn some nodes.
Oh no.
It'll mostly move them.
Oh, come on, these robots! I hate them. I hate them so much. I hate them so much.
So, in the World Seeker community, despite Liam being godlike world record holder, he is terrible at robots.
I'm so bad at robots. I hate them so much, dude. They're the worst.
So, if somebody wants to, like, find the best run, watch Liam's runs, cut all of his fights out with robots, and replace them with Globe-Q, Shadow of Globe-Q's runs for robots. That's the optimal route. Just follow those two. Like, no offense at all.
Yeah, none whatsoever. I know that's my weak point, man. Robots. When you show me the like 200%, 300% speed thing, the robots were flying all over the place. I was like, oh no. All right, Tashigi. Tashigi, I'm also kind of bad at. So let's see. Can I do it? I did it. No way. I did it. Let's go.
Got the quick Tashigi. Yeah, Tashigi can go really fast as long as you get quick lock on under a head and nothing bad happens. All good. Also, a really nice thing about this game is how many fights just require you to kill the main objective and don't add any extra fluff. Like, there's multiple fights in this game where it's like, kill all the robots, and there's like 5 more Marines, and you just don't kill them. Because they don't matter. Or in that Tashigi fight, you don't have to kill her Marines. You know, they didn't do anything wrong. They just shot at Luffy. Luffy's rubber. No damage done, you know. No use hurting him. You know, fun fact, I don't think Luffy normally has ever hit Tashigi in the series.
That's actually kind of funny. Even though they were on Punk Hazard together, too, funny enough.
Yeah. Yeah, it just doesn't happen. Alright, so explain a bit on what's gonna happen, lore. He's gonna grab this side quest here, and then he's gonna grab Peru. Peru is a DLC item you get from the Law DLC, I believe. We use him for a later trick. He also moves pretty quickly, but it was discovered by myself that Peru is a tiny bit slower than doing this Hawk Whip that you're seeing him perform over and over again. It is better in places, like this section right here, because all these like Navy commanders and stuff can get a little tricky, so Peru kind of saves time on this trek, and he can hop up this thing without much trouble, but you have to get off Karoo to trigger this boy's talking cutscene. which loses a bit of time. And crew auto picks up objects by walking near them, which is nice as well. But overall, you can do that section. If you do it clean, you can do that section faster without crew.
I
So we
need a
don't use
pure
crew
iron.
much anymore.
Pure iron.
Yes.
There you go. Perfect.
So, pure iron is one of the major RNG factors in this run. It used to be way worse. But it has gotten a lot better over time.
Yeah, we have a chest in chapter 13 that we can get like 2 free pure iron from if we haven't managed to pick up 3 by the point we get there.
Yeah, it loses a decent chunk of time, so it definitely sucks, but it lets you have the route consistently there. So that way, like, you can always practice it with just like a net 20-second loss or something.
There are 2 more you can grab here usually, like this one maybe? No. Alright, so we're just gonna get the chest in chapter 13, no big deal.
Yeah, so I'll show off the backup.
Oh, no! There we go, cool, recovered. Recovered.
It is nice getting really good luck. It's like really OP, but it's pretty rare. I believe in your current record, you have like perfect luck, right?
Yeah, I have perfect RNG basically.
Yeah.
Come on, talk to.
In his like world record, he just gets like 3 in a row.
Yeah, it's like, what?
Yeah. They're not like extremely rare because they're not gold rarity. They're only 1 rarity above. They're just uncommon.
Oh, right.
But I think uncommon in this game is roughly 15% or something, or like 10%. So it's just getting like 3 15%, which is still hard. Like there's only so many nodes is actually the bigger reason why it's a little annoying. To get pure iron is because there's only a couple spots that are designated as iron locations. You'll know if it's a pure iron location if the item you get instead of it is bronze. And then you know. So also, a lot of materials actually share depot locations. So like, you know, wood might share metal or whatever, for example.
Damn it, I'm inting this fight, dude. Oh wow, I ran out of air stuff. That's cool. I'll just split early again.
Happens to the best of us.
Do we have chance for a quick donation by any chance?
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Go for it.
Okay, cool. The power of bribery has won, and I've got my sister to donate $3 for a cup of tea.
Heck yeah.
Let's go. I bribed me now, someone. But yeah, $3. We are now over $450. You're getting very close to the 500 mark. So yeah, everyone chipping as much as you can. Really appreciate it. Let you back to the run.
Yeah.
Awesome, thank you, Skippy.
Yeah. If anybody wants to donate, you only need to donate like $1, okay? Like,
Yeah.
$1 does a lot. A lot more than you think it does. You know,
It's true.
McDonald's doesn't even cost $1 anymore.
By the way,
does.
during Warmongers, if you want to donate, that would really help out the entertainment value of this stream.
Yeah, so Warmongers is timed. It's like an equivalent of an auto-scroller. So, you know, if Luffy can get to 500 before the end of Warmongers, then Luffy will complete the quest correctly. But
Exactly.
it would be very tragic if you can't complete the quest. If he doesn't have money for Warmongers, then Vinsmokes might take him out.
It's true. Might not have the right build.
Yeah, he can't afford to get the right build, you know?
Got a detour for a small flower here.
Warmongers isn't immediate. You guys got a little bit of time. But if you guys could...
Small flower, perfect. And we'll split here too, just cuz. Just cuz.
Yeah, so he needs to get a couple small flowers here. He gets pretty lucky, because small flowers aren't rare or anything. There are a bunch of them at this gravesite, and they're all along the perimeter. But where they pop up on the map is random. There's basically 50 node locations, and the game picks them arbitrarily and randomly when you enter them. And it doesn't refresh them for a long time. So, pretty annoying. You can refresh them by clicking, like, by saving and then loading. And it'll just move them around. It won't spawn any additional ones. But that can be good if your locations are horrible. But that's only because we use loader moves.
Now,
in something like this, obviously.
my lines for this used to be terrible, but now I have figured out a path that is not that bad. And it goes kind of like
Take a
this.
deep breath. So
Oh,
this
that's
is
okay.
a very tricky path. It's very difficult. There's snipers all along this area, but with this very clean tech, it's pretty resistant to snipers and gets us to the quest location pretty well. Leaving this area is also very hard. You have to be very careful not to go too far right or you get shot. So that's why he's gonna go around this mountain rather than like, you know, up it, which we used to do. It looks pretty clean.
Yeah, not too bad.
That's really nice.
Alright, now let's not do the thing that I did in my previous world.
Yeah, you need to get a clean pathway over this gap, and then you want to kill the bandits and be very careful with standing right in front of the chest and not to the side of the chest. This game is very picky about the chest, and it cares about basically the size of the chest in front of the chest is like a interaction zone. If you're on the sides of the chest, it'll basically just it'll just say no to you. You just
Yeah,
can't
like,
get what you want.
yeah. Not the greatest fight, but that's okay. Oh, I gotta go back. There you go. And then I'll just split now. So I'm still like probably like 20 seconds behind what I'm actually at, but that's not too bad. However long it takes to mash through dialogue
Big
here for Sanji.
donation. Hey, yo, thank you, Brandino.
Okay, no, the Brandino one's at all, but we do
I know,
have
it's
a big
awful.
donation. If we have time for it.
Yeah, go for it. A lot of mashing through
Okay,
dialogue here.
so we have a very big donation from Sephiroth for the homie Liam. Much love for homie. For
Yo.
$43. Shout out to Seth, and I believe they have just put us at the $500 mark. We
Yeah.
have hit our second goal here. Okay. I don't know what the new goal should be, but we just keep smashing it for some reason.
Maybe 650,
Yeah.
maybe 700. Who knows?
We will see. But shout out Sephiroth once again for that huge donation. Greatly appreciated.
Shoutouts to the homie Sephiroth.
And guess why we're here? Just to say this is for Extra Life in support of the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Money going towards critical treatments, healthcare services, pediatric medical equipment, and charitable care. So any little bit you can throw in will be greatly appreciated. And I'll let you two get back to it.
Awesome. Thanks again, Sephiroth, for always pushing the speedrunning forward by being just a good guy.
So true. Sephiroth do be the homie. Always big supporter. Gotta love the homie.
Absolutely. So there's more robots coming up.
Yeah, this is why we get the focus, the slow down time thing, and we buy more time of it too. So we run up and we go boom, 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 boom. Okay, there's 3 on the ground. There's 3 on the ground. Come on, just give me. Get over here. Where's the last one? Get over here. Why are you circling around me like that? Die. There you go. Okay. Now, if you stand over here, you can save a bit of time because Jean will show up and you have to talk to her. Ah! I was off by like a micrometer. I have also slowed down, so I should actually be correct in my split timing. But I do believe it's just RTA on the screen anyway, so... I'm the only one worrying about it.
All
There we
good.
go. There you go.
Smash and goal. Correct. Yeah, so you're gonna notice there's a lot of robots in this game. There's a reason for that. The antagonist of the game is Iron Man, and they love Iron Man 3 in this game.
Specifically Iron Man 3. They're not a big fan of 1 or 2.
Yeah, it's specifically 3 because 3 is the one with all the remote-controlled Iron Man units. So, big fan of Iron Man 3, you know.
Uh-oh. Probably could have held on to that just a wee bit longer.
A tad, you know. I mean, it's fine. He only has a devil fruit, so...
He only has a devil fruit. Yeah, it's not like he's gonna drown or anything in the water.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
That'd be crazy, yeah.
Luffy just defeats all these robots, and then just... Sploosh, blah, 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 you
Just
know.
blue. Yeah.
There's a running gag in the One Piece gaming community because a lot of the games actually have really funny drowning noises. In fact, in the original Grand Battle, when you start the story mode as Zoro, the first line spoken is Usopp drowning noises.
Some drowning noises.
Yeah, it literally
dude.
just opens up the story, and he's just like, and then you're like, what? And every time we skip the cutscene for that game, so you just hear, and you skip the cutscene.
So it's very prominent. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very prominent. So ever since then, drowning noise is very popular One Piece meme.
Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Me trying to do funny new route stuff, and I haven't cracked you too much.
Yeah, it's tough. This city in particular has a lot of things that can block you and a lot of snipers that can shoot you based off height and various other factors, so it can get very tricky.
Okay, so now we're going to True Treasure. Instead, we're gonna abandon this quest and say goodbye to both the quests we just started, and go start a third quest. Normally we would do this to collect the Knuckle Ring early, but we already did that, so now we're doing it because I don't know why. We'll figure out why one someday.
Dun, dun.
Eh. So this quest has us talking to a bunch of people, and then we eventually find robots on the beach, and then that's the quest.
Did you practice the pathway to the beach?
I did, actually. Last run, I did.
Okay.
So now we gotta talk to some more NPCs in the town. So we're gonna go off of that. Gonna go off of that. Try to go off of these. And we'll just kick him in the face. Kick him in the face.
If anybody's curious about a random nitty-gritty detail, loading in this game is minimal. I mean, it's like pretty long, and it's because it's minimum 11 seconds, or like 10.5 seconds. So if you're ever curious like why he fast travels and it takes 10.5 seconds on like an M2 SSD or something, it's because it's got a coded limit, unfortunately. Otherwise, it would only take like 3 seconds.
Oh, jeez.
Which would be really cool. But unfortunately not. I have actually removed the limiter with a mod before, and it's pretty low, like the loads. It's actually really arbitrary why they chose the 10 or 11 seconds.
Gotta make sure every console and PC can handle everything coming in all at once, you know? So...
Yeah, it's just so tragic. I'm not against minimum loads, but 11 is a bit long.
I'm going a little wide here, but actually, no, this works perfectly.
Yeah,
There you go.
Good. Perfecto.
No, dude. No. No. Oh, dude.
We can't have nice things with robots involved.
No, it's so true. Where are you? This is usually an easier robot fight because there's 3 of them and they're like pretty clumped up. But I just missed the head and body like 3 times on that one guy, so that was just... Yeah, you're gonna see me probably at my worst when it comes to fighting tonight, but you know, it is what it is. Sometimes it'd be like that.
It do be like that. Also, this is... You know, this run is the reason Daft Punk doesn't believe in robots anymore. It's not because of AI.
It's exactly this run, yeah.
It's this run. They watched Liam's run and they're like, wait a second. Maybe we shouldn't be robots.
Maybe we're the bad guys?
We're the bad guys here.
That's crazy.
Floating there menacingly. There's a bug with a couple of the upcoming robot fights. There's a technically exploitable bug that we haven't really looked into all that much. Where you can cause all the robots to clump spawn.
Is that like in chapter 15 or?
In chapter 15, yeah. It just came to mind because you're going near the spot where Globku got it in his run. But yeah, like there's a couple glitches with clump spawns in this game where you can cause a bunch of enemies to spawn in one spot if you are standing in a certain location. But it hasn't been labbed meticulously because as much as it is very good, it would be annoying to reproduce and lose your run over.
So this is supposed to be a stealth section, by the way?
It's definitely supposed to be stealthy, but due to the fact that you can get a pretty low lateral height rocket, you don't create sound on that rooftop. And then when you go towards the shed, you can just like grab onto it or drop behind the guy and you can't notice it. Again, because we're not far enough, we aren't high enough to create noise when we land. This game even has stealth upgrades and we take none of them. We're like, screw that. Honestly, the stealth upgrades in this game are mediocre. Like, a fun fact is that, there's story modes for, like, Zoro and Law and Sabo in this game. Sabo and Law have much more stealth sections in them, but taking their, like, stealth skills suck. Like, they won't save any time in their entire speed run. It's really tragic. The game just cares so little about actual stealth radius.
1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and, oh, I didn't grab attack 2 earlier, that's why. That's why I'm doing so little damage, dude. I was wondering. I forgot during chapter 6.
Yeah, it's all good. So this is low damage, you know? We had to make it a little tougher for the stream. We had to... at least we have it for this one.
Yeah, this is important. Okay, I got a little body by the shotgun there. Ah, there you go. That's fine. That's fine. We're alright.
It's good.
Fast load out of that fight.
Shotgun didn't hurt nobody.
There you go. Tried that. I
hate when Luffy has like a 0 movement speed like whip and he goes nowhere.
Oh yeah, that's always fun.
He just like kicks nothing. It's cause like Luffy in this game needs momentum for his whip to move a proper distance. And if you just jump from no movement at all and try to whip, Luffy's like distance traveled is terrible. It's fairly tragic.
Alright.
Alright, so far so good.
Not too bad.
We used to have to grab this spot from a really weird situation, I believe, but now it's not too bad.
Oh, like this this route here?
Yeah. We've rerouted a lot of like, this part of the side quests. Okay. I think it's funny that about half the cutscenes in this game trigger by getting near the person, and the other half are like by talking.
Oh yeah. It's also funny how like sometimes you can tap Y to interact, and sometimes you gotta hold to interact.
Yeah, it's very like inconsistent.
I can only imagine how much different the no fast travel category is. Only one person's tried it, right?
Yeah, and it was a long time ago. I like it a lot in it's super cool in Zoro percent because it just makes you glide way more. So gliding around is super fun to do, and like no fast travel makes like going up the whole like secret laboratory section super cool. Because you normally never do that.
It's true. Has Chrome done no fast? Chrome's done no fast travel.
Yeah, I had him do no fast travel for Zoro. It was super cool. I told him I thought it was the premier category personally. I think it's like more hype, but it's more hard on your hands.
Oh yeah.
Because you're just doing way more movement, and the strats for it are kind of cool because it's just more movement to route in, you know. A lot more movement, so it's super cool. The movement.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Redirection.
I agree. The movement in this game is super nice on 2 of the stories especially. I think Sabo's movement is garbage, unfortunately, which is, you know, sad. And Law's movement, teleporting is cool, but the way they implemented it was too restrictive. I think if Law could dash like 15 to 20% further, it would be way better. But they chose like such a small distance for him to be able to teleport.
Well, you were on the Cloud Islands the whole time, basically, with Law, right?
No, you leave them quite early.
Oh, never mind.
You're on the Cloud Islands for the beginning and the end. But a lot of the in-between sections are actually in areas from other stuff, just new stuff.
Oh, like the underground, like
New Game
post-game
Plus
stuff?
Luffy stuff. Well, a lot of weird areas that I think you only do for like side quests with Luffy or New Game Plus Luffy stuff.
Whoops, forgot to cancel out of that early. Now we're seeing our favorite clown that we never get to see again.
Yeah, I love Buggy stuff. Yeah, Liam and me have talked about maybe, like, eventually in the super far reaches of our minds touching up on Law and Sabo or something. But I thought they can go down a lot, but they're also, specifically, Sabo's is really boring.
I keep splitting way too early. Ah, get me up there.
That was a good fight, though, against Keezer. Keezer can be a jerk and just teleport spam. Be invincible.
Ugh. Me when I'm so focused on splitting early so I don't have to focus on splitting right when I'm interacting with things, so I split. And I should just not split during these.
Kinda, yeah. I mean, it's not like it's gonna wreck you or anything.
A little too high. I should have canceled out of that early.
Alright, so this area is, like, weirdly devoid of, like, useful tree options in a couple places. So you have to do a lot of short rockets. This fight is actually difficult on higher difficulty levels because they can basically one-shot Jean.
Yeah, it's a protect mission.
Yeah, you don't really think about it being protect in this context, but on high difficulties, literally the bandit can, like, turn around and one-shot her. It's pretty rude.
We need this and this, and now radio tower. Time for warmongers. Get ready, guys. You'll see Chair-kun for a little while.
So every radio tower themed quest in this game is hilariously evil, and this is one of them. Zoro has his own version of warmongers in front of radio tower.
Oh right, yeah. It's funnier though. It's a little more entertaining.
It's a bit more entertaining because you stand on top of a roof and kill a bunch of dudes.
And you can't really walk away.
Fun than...
Or beginner you can. Beginner you can walk away, I think.
You can if you get, like, a really soft exploit, but it's not, like, 100% safe.
Right, I forgot. I did walk away and die one time doing that.
Yeah. It's much better than it was, because before equipment, it was, like, dangerous, but with equipment, it's really hard to die. So this is a quote-unquote stealth mission where you're supposed to, like, follow Ichiji through the town without getting too far or being detected by him. So we just basically stand at certain places, and we make sure that we're not so far that we don't trigger him. And, yeah, you can, like, go make a sandwich, talk to your loved ones, hug your parents, come back, donate, you know, to this lovely charity, all those things. So if anybody wants to donate to the Vinsmoke, the Anti-Vinsmoke Fund, that would be, greatly appreciated. We'll donate all of it to Extra Life.
That would be greatly appreciated. We haven't got anything in just yet, but just to repeat, if anyone wants to throw anything through, supporting Extra Life in terms of children's miracle network hospital. It's way too late for me. Yeah, any little bit you want to throw our way is going to help a ton. But yeah, I'm going to get back to it.
Absolutely. All right, we're getting back into this. We're gonna be taking out the Vin Smoke family. Luffy just taking a quick fiver. He's on break. Lean back, drink some water, stretch. You know, it's good to get some blood into your muscles. This mission's pretty funny. As a streamer, it's a good mission, but as a gameplay design, it was a terrible idea.
Let me do the shuffle up the hill. Shuffle up the hill.
It's extra rude because a lot of people actually get to the end of this mission, and then Ichiji just turns around and fails the mission. So it makes you redo the whole thing. Alright, so this fight is the hardest fight in the video game. It's like nearly impossible, in fact.
Surprised he lasted with 1 health. That was kind of crazy. Before Knuckle Ring strats, we used to have to Eagle Storm them, but now we only have to Eagle Storm Fujitora and Akainu. Speaking of...
Fujitora. So, there's some exploits with Fujitora that were thought up on paper because of some strats I developed with Zoro, where you can like trigger his Iaido like cut through move. It's similar to Trip to Hell from Pyro Warriors. And then that move doesn't have damage reduction on it, so you like block it and then you just try to hit him with something strong. But it's a little tricky to get that consistently, especially when you try to aim at him after the fact. So basically, Akainu and Fujitora are both good examples of bosses with a lot of damage reduction properties. So they have a lot of moves that make it so they take like 70% less damage. And that's where Eagle Storm comes in, because it's just a really high damage multi-hit move. So it's good at kind of plowing through that super high resistance, while also giving us the chance to, like, you know, getting a lot of hits in, so that way we're likely to kill them despite it.
So here's going to tell us about Gear 4. Spoilers. We're not going to use it, though.
We don't use Gear 4 anymore. In a very old route, you used to use it to go up the mountain, but we now use Crew for that.
Do you want to tell them what that skip name is called?
Well, a long time ago, the trick was called Cockskip because the runner in question didn't know that Karoo is a duck. And so thought it'd be funny to make fun of the run a little bit in jest, to refer to it as Cockskip as a way of beating Globku's record at the time, which is very funny. And when I told her that Karoo's a duck, she freaked out. And it was like, no, we can't call it that anymore. I was like, I guess you could. I mean, so low key, you know, you can still call it that if you would like.
If you like.
If you like, you know.
Not a big deal, I guess. Kicks a rock down the road.
Yeah. So if you're curious why that gets brought up occasionally, it is because of the crazy Mizumi tales.
The record holders before me.
Yeah. It was the first ad moderator decision I had to make for World Seeker, because I had to get the board from it being dead at the time. And that was the first thing that came up was, hey, do we ban Karoo because it's a DLC item? Basically. And I was like, no. Like, as much as, you know, I am for separating DLC and non-DLC items a lot of time, World Seeker had been out for so long, and the difference in strats between Karoo and Gear 4 were, you know, it had an impact, but it wasn't so severe that it was crazy. And because we found, you know, Hawk Whip is faster than Karoo, it kind of made up for the fact that, like, we don't really plan to use Karoo anywhere else. The old method is you could use Gear 4 to climb the mountain, but the negative to that is that after you finish being in Gear 4, unfortunately when Luffy gets to the top of the mountain as Gear 4, he gets transformed back from Gear 4 and still has the debuff. And therefore Luffy cannot build meter for like a long time, basically. That's the negative of the old strat, is that once you Gear 4 up the mountain, because you can technically get up the mountain faster with Gear 4 than you can with Peru. So you save a bit of time using Gear 4 to get on top of the mountain, but then you lose time on the Octane fight. But with stuff like Knuckle Ring and stuff, the fight's probably not that much of a time loss, all things considered, if you did it perfectly. Doing it with Gear 4. So it's pretty negligible, but it's definitely way better for the strat to be consistent against Akainu. Fun fact, Jet Hawk or Red Hawk or whatever, it actually does like only like 3 times as much damage as like shooting them in the head with your ranged attack. Like really weak.
I don't know what to do. I go back.
You just bonked and you're just gonna, yeah, you fell into like a cow.
Yeah.
That happens to me all the time. It happened to me like 3 times when I was playing as Sabo, because he has to go through this area like two or 3 times. And if he just bonks on something, it's terrible.
He has a similar launching mechanic, right?
Yeah, it's like Luffy's, but it goes less far and has more left and right control, which is not a good thing. Like, you can do donuts in the air with it, and it's like, why would I want to do that? Like, but yeah, Sabo's is really bad on paper. Sabo's rocket equivalent feels like it needs the rocket extension upgrade, or it's garbage. Like, it moves slower than running, it feels like. It's really, really bad. It's not actually that slow, it just feels very bad. For a guy who turned into a fire, like a flaming rocket in a way, you would think you would move faster. But nope. Sabo's probably the most unfortunate character in this game, because he's got a cool idea for a combat mechanic. They just needed to make his mobility way better, and he would have been really fun to play as. But because his movement is the worst by far, he's generally not very fun. He also doesn't have any form of guard canceling. Both Zoro and Law, or all characters besides Sabo, have guarding, so they can guard cancel, but Sabo only has dashing, which is the opposite of Zoro and Law, who only have guarding. Luffy has both, but we never use his dashing moveset. So, guarding tends to be better in this game in every way than dodging.
Okay, I'm hoping I have enough scrap iron. I only picked up like 2 earlier, I'm pretty sure. I'm hoping I picked up enough from the robots later on.
Yeah. You tend to get scrap iron from like Navy bases and like robots and stuff in this game. So it's a pretty weird resource.
It's usually the one you can count on the most out of everything else, but it can troll you sometimes.
Just rare.
Let's
rare
see.
L's
We'll
are
find out
awesome.
right now. And no, I'm missing... Oh, right. I literally forgot to do that one thing that I was... Yeah, it's just the pure iron. Never mind, we're good. Forgot to go here. That's all it was. I was literally just thinking about it too, and then I go to the sunny, I'm like, wait a minute. So that's a bit of time loss, because I progressed through the dialogue, and I have to get back on the sunny again, but not a big deal.
Yeah, not too bad. So, in actual speedrun, this would be load removed for all these loads, so it looks longer than it actually is. So you're gonna load remove coming here and then leaving here, basically. Which is 22 seconds of loads that you get to delete. Yeah. So I think, like, if anybody wants to try this game, it's fun to play. It's just a good casual experience. If you want to play this game as a speedrunner.
At least I got the plus plus. Oh.
And rings have a chance of spawning as a plus, a normal, or plus plus. They're very minimal differences, but we take everything we can get because it's pretty useful for thresholds in this game, especially if you do body shots. Big purchase. But yeah, what I was saying is, if you pick up this game, very fun. You can get it on sale usually pretty easily. Usually comes with all the DLCs, etc. Luffy's story is the longest of all three by, or all four, sorry, by quite a lot. But he's also just like fun to play. He's Spider-Man, man. Flies all over the place with stretchy hands. Rocketing around just feels really good in the game.
Now here comes Sepskip, discovered by Sephiroth, the man who donated earlier.
Sephiroth. So, it was discovered that if you just fling your face into this giant TV, that you will trigger the inside cutscene by Sephiroth.
He was playing through the game one day,
And he was
just
like,
trying to
"What
get to
if
the point.
TV.
And I was like, wait, don't go that way. Then I was like, oh, wait a minute. Huh. I guess do go that way.
That is the right way. Found the secret.
I'm fine
He just
with
wanted
this.
to jump through the TV, you know, he's a Persona fan.
Yeah.
Wanted to enter the TV world and found a new world.
Backside of the TV and all that.
Yep.
Okay, now normally I would try to trigger the dialogue while Nami's talking, but I've learned my lesson. Wait till Robin talks, otherwise it will reset. So
Yeah,
no matter
so
how
this-
fast I get up here, it's usually like, unless I can get there before Nami talks, maybe?
Yeah, for sure. It is possible, and there might even be a trick to make the thing not happen, but we haven't labbed it enough. It's likely that we would just want to get there before the Nami thing and just hit it. That would be ideal, but it's just hard to guarantee that every time. But you know, just more fun little time saves to get. There's a lot of, there's a lot of categories for this game. If anybody wanted to get into the speedrun, I would recommend looking at Zoro's route and learning how to Sound Glide and just playing around with Zoro. It's the easiest to get into initially. It requires more advanced techniques than the average game maybe, but still less than Luffy. Luffy uses a lot of techniques that are advanced that aren't that obvious that we're doing. Like we're hawk whipping everywhere, which is kind of annoying to do consistently. And rocket flip outs and like rocket flip out guards and stuff are very subtle, but there are a lot of adjustments compared to what you do as Zoro.
Okay, alright. John, I need you to die. Did I not like land enough headshots on you? Come on.
Okay, missed most headshots.
Alright. I used to use the win button, aka Gum Gum Bazooka, because it just does way too much damage. But it is slightly slower than just knocking them in the face. On higher difficulties, it is mandatory. It is just mandatory for the run to get early on, because of how much damage it actually provides you. It's basically better than Red Hawk, I'm pretty sure, in terms of damage.
Yeah,
What's
Red Hawk's
around
not that strong, so it's probably very similar. Which is funny for something that costs nothing and builds meter. And hits in a bigger area.
It doesn't require you to aim at the robots.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not doing enough
my
damage.
recommendation if you wanted to get into this game would be definitely try it out, just have fun. But if you want to speedrun it, try Zoro %, then pivot over to Luffy or Law later on. And avoid Sabo % because it's fake.
It's fake. It's not real. Can't hurt you.
Not real. If anybody tells you the Sabo % in this game is real, they're lying. They're trying to lull you into a false sense of security. It's cipher pole garbage. They're trying to feed you. All right, good stuff. That fight can be shorter if you get really clean kills. You won't have to do one of the waves of that. So a whole respawn of that won't happen. I'd be curious if there's a way to get it to like super quick end, but I don't know if there is anything like that.
Maybe if you just start with Conqueror's Hockey and knock everybody out. I don't know.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Is you would like start with Conk or something, and maybe like punch the 2 purple guys once in the head each, and then just pop it, and maybe it would end. I assume it wouldn't end because it's probably still got a minimum amount of waves that it has to spawn. But it would be curious. It'd be interesting if that ended up doing it.
Okay,
It's
all
not
right.
too hard to test, I guess.
All right, so we're just on pace, hopefully, to beat our estimate, but anything can happen, so we might be slightly under. We'll see.
Shout out to Whitebeard, the One Piece.
We might be slightly over. But that makes up for it because the previous estimate was like 10 minutes short, so...
Yeah. So this is a bit dangerous. This is the end.
Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. There's another
end
robot?
game.
Where'd you
Robots
go?
are dangerous.
You know what? I'm gonna grab the
So-
win button with how bad this is going. I'm grabbing it now. I'm grabbing the win button.
Just grab a backup win button.
Yeah.
It's gonna help for the final boss against Isaac quite a lot, I think. As well. Yeah, so bazooka's not too hard to pick up in this game. It used to be hard to afford it without like screwing yourself, but we have a bit of points sitting around now.
Ah, okay. Oh, great. Double great. Come on, that's one. See, you can one-shot them in the head if you could aim for them. If you could actually get them in the head.
Yeah, so a lot of robots have little tiny heads.
Tried to bazooka them. Oh my god, die. There you go. See, you don't have to aim, thankfully. Alright, this is the trickiest robot fight of them all in the run, I would say. Because of, there's 2 waves. And, they can spawn in random spots based on where you're standing. Like you were talking about earlier.
Yes, this tourmaline robot fight is the worst by far. They spawn really, they can get really far from you, and the native spawns suck.
Okay, they're behind, over here. Or at least this guy is. I don't know where the other one is. It's all the way over there. 2 of them are all the way over there, that's great. You know what, I have Conquerors. I dropped that one down. Okay, come on. Where'd the other one go? Can you, thank you. Thank you, there we go.
As you can see, the tourmaline one is pretty bad. The robots can get pretty awry if you aren't standing in certain spots. So ideally we would find a way to make that a little smoother somehow, but
I'm trying to
only do
see,
it so well.
try to see what where Glopu's standing in his run when he gets it.
Yeah, I think seeing where he's standing is important, and also I think honestly just finding the best route would be best. Like, I don't think slowing down time at the start is optimal, if I'm being super honest about it.
Oh
I
yeah,
feel
it's
like
just, that's
it's
all.
probably like headshot, and then you save the slowdown time. Because my thought is if you just headshot the 2 guys without slowdown time, the guys that are further from you might move towards you,
Okay.
which would save a lot of time on moving. Because you wouldn't have to like chase them to the edges. That's a pure guess. You would just hope for them to get closer to you, then slow down time, then pop them. That'd be my hope for a strategy. But who knows?
1, 2, 3. Shit.
Yeah, so yeah,
Nope.
I know Liam's hoping to get aimbots legalized soon. So.
True, yeah, aimbot would make this run a lot more fun.
It is kind of funny because this game is mostly about aiming at robots, so it's kind of aimbot by default, but like
It's true.
it's weird how many robots are in this game actually. Like Luffy fights bandits, robots, and then just like Fujitora, Kizaru, Akainu, like Admiral. It really does just kind of fight admirals, bandits, and robots. Does he fight anybody that's not bandits, admirals, and robots? Obviously, Raiden Marines, but that's kind of crazy.
Damn it! There you go. Wait, I didn't do it. What? Okay, okay. I'm trying to cancel. I'm trying to do the thing. There you go.
It's fine, we got those.
We're chilling, we're chilling.
Now we get the Vince Smokes help, right? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we did the karma quests, so we're good.
We did all the karma quests, they're gonna help us out. Now, yeah, these fights are... They try to reward you by doing the karma quests, by having these fights like get help from bosses and stuff. And etc. that you help out. But obviously you don't have time for that. You can't become friends with everybody. This isn't the actual One Piece, we don't have 1,000 episodes.
Not just 1,000 minutes or seconds. I don't know at this point.
Yeah, we're all for the speed piece. This is the One Piece abridged, the video game.
Oh, yeah, there's always a dude there.
The One Piece is the split we made at the end of the run.
Not the friends we made along the way.
Yeah. Nope. Friends are slow sometimes. You gotta be careful about those.
I don't think we're making estimate here today. That's unfortunate, but that's alright.
Luffy makes almost no friends in this story. All about destroying robots.
I can't even fight right now. Yeah, oh great. Great. It's like okay, the robots know when you're locking onto them or when you're targeting them.
They do. They 100% do. They're coded that if you're aiming at them, they will try to dodge you. That's why you have, like, basically, like, hit scan punches.
Because, like, I wasn't even, what do you call it there? I wasn't even able to, like, action my lock on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was still like, oh, I'll dodge, dodge, dodge. I saw that you triggered 3 shots, even though that you couldn't make them, because you were locked in a different animation, and I dodged all 3 of those shots.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a strat against Kizaru and Zoro percent where we aim to the right of Kizaru or the left of Kizaru so we can hit him with a Phoenix, because if we aim directly at him, it'll fail. Because he'll just invincibility through it. So it definitely happens where aiming at them is bad in that context. Which is why flicking in this game is extra good and why it's tough sometimes to aim at all these guys.
Gonna split here. Still super early, but at least it's done. Oh, yeah, I lost like a minute on those robot fights.
It happens. Robots are evil. We've learned this. You gotta be careful of them darn robots. Robots are trying to replace the Marines.
What do you mean I can't call Karu here? So here we go, the infamous cock skip.
Yeah, so Karu only allows himself to be summoned if there's no objects near him at all, because probably in game development they found that Karu could get out of bounds by just like using him near a wall. And so they banned his ability to be summoned anywhere near any objects. So he's very fickle when it comes to allowing spawn areas. So Karu can jump up mountains like this. This is also a feature of like Zoro. Zoro can do the same thing, but he doesn't need a duck to do it.
Duck to do it.
So very efficient. Karu,
Oh, no damage reduction there, I guess. Except, there you go. If he kicks you, there's no damage reduction, so that's cool to know.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's a lot of the physical attacks of bosses don't have damage reduction. It's usually like the elemental looking ones. Unless you're a bandit, and then you're invincible. Bandits are kings in this game.
So for whatever weird reason, the game puts you in like observation mode after this cutscene for whatever reason.
It's like it's cause I don't know entirely why, but it's probably because the game completely reloads the entire planet, similar to maybe like the Sky Islands, because this is not on the world map. Everything in the game is loaded on the map, but this area is not loaded on the normal map, and that's probably the reason. Oh, you got a way better pivot, like grab point.
Yeah, I know to go. I know to go higher. Yeah. Why did I do that? Whoops. Gotta wait because he's invincible.
Is really stupid. So he's gonna activate Obs Hockey, and he just has this like aura around him made of technology observation hockey that just dodges everything. And when he performs an attack, you can punch him, and he loses observation aura, and it'll trigger a cutscene. You have to do this like 3 times or so, and then trigger a cutscene on him, and you fight.
4 times, I think. 4.
Oh, yeah, 4 times. They didn't want you to think 3rd time's the charm. That'd be cringe.
Yeah, that would be too cringe. It would make too much sense, even.
Yeah. Instead. And so he'll summon additional robots, 1 additional for every phase. And
there we go.
Often he will be a punk about attacking you while robots exist. Like,
he's kind of being nice to me now after the first 2, but we'll see how these last 2 go.
Yeah, he'll usually require you to basically kill the robots.
Oh, wait, can I do it? Can I do it? He's too far away, isn't he? Yeah, he's too far away. Damn it, I thought I got him there. Wait, I didn't get this last guy, though. Damn it. Okay, now he's gonna try to get at me. Come on.
Yeah.
Asshole. What? Ah! He doesn't normally do that, like, roundabout one. Dude, come on. Can you please? Why did you miss me? How, like, do you misgauge that, dude? Come on. Alright. Now he's finally gonna stop being a little dumbass. A little takedown moment.
Big robot, he actually becomes easier to defeat because the Mandarin and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater Iron Man 3.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater Iron Man 3. Alright, time is next on the next black screen, which will be in like a moment. And time. There you go.
Time.
So let's see. Let's see that RTA real quick. I'm gonna check on my end. I know it's bad. Oh, almost a whole minute behind. But
it was like a high 21.
Oh. Okay, well, you know, we're good though. We're good. I think we're good. Like it's an hour and 12 minutes later for my designated start time, so I'm happy with that.
Good stuff.
You know, I struggled along. I tumbled through. I jogged. I jogged through this. I speed jogged.
You sure did use GGs on that run? I'm so happy that everything came together for Peak Fiction to create a peak run.
Absolutely.
That was great to be a part of. And yeah, so if there is any shout outs you would like to give, or actually, when is the next run?
Shoutouts to Oda for making One Piece.
True.
Yep, shoutouts to Goda. Yep.
Shoutouts to Nyland for sure for helping me get good at this game, come up with actual routes that made sense, and just overall being a cool person, keeping the community together.
Yeah, if anybody wants to, you know, practice any One Piece games or whatever, feel free to hit me up. You can, if you go to speedrun.com and go to any of the One Piece pages, basically, pretty much all of them will have a Discord link that goes to Anime Speedrun's Discord. If you have any questions about anime-based speedrunning, please go there and forward questions to the experts in the community. If it's One Piece related, feel free to message me about it, because I'm serious admin.
Yeah, thank you once again for that run. And just giving a quick reminder, this is raising money for Extra Life in support of the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Raising money for critical treatments, healthcare services, pediatric medical equipment, and charitable care. So any little bit you want to throw away is greatly appreciated. Big or small, doesn't matter. We appreciate it all. But yeah, I'm going to wrap up
Absolutely.
here. Getting ready for the next run. If there's any last little things you want to throw in before we wrap things up.
I just realized my input display is covering like the hour marker on my live split. That's kind of funny.
Yeah,
Oh, well.
that's pretty much everything. Yeah, give your money to Extra Life. Chopper needs it to invent a panacea that'll cure everybody. So.
Yeah. True, and thank you very much to Sacer and Not the Same for having us both on tonight, and good luck to the rest of the runners for this marathon.
Usual for sure. It's great having you here. And everyone else get ready for the next run coming up. So yeah.